As the movie starts, a conference is shown in Berlin in 1987. In the conference, it is discussed that they don't have money to maintain their army. They send their man named Leon to Congo City to bring some diamonds and the elephant teeth. Leon reaches Congo City with his army. As he reaches there, a tribe attacks his army. Leon's whole army got killed by the tribe except Leon. They were about to kill Leon, but Leon kills a man of their tribe. The leader of the tribe knows that Leon has come here to take some diamonds and elephant teeth. There was a deal among them. The leader wants something and says, "If you will bring that thing, I will give you everything of Congo." The thing was Tarzan, and the tribe leaders demands Tarzan. The scene shifts and a conference room is shown. Tarzan is shown in the conference. Now he lives with a royal family, not in the forests. Tarzan was named John. The Prime Minister says to John that there is an invitation for you and it came straight from Africa. The Africans want you there and you will do research there. You will get data from that place. John refuses this invitation to go to Africa. Before John leaves, Mr. George arrives. Mr. George also has spent time in the forests. Mr. George says if you will go there, you can meet the people of Congo as well. What problem do you have to go there? You have spent a lot of time in Congo, but John says to George that I don't want to go to Congo again. George says we can help the people there if you will go. There is nothing to fear about. After some discussion, John aka Tarzan gets ready to go to his old house. The scene shifts to the past of Tarzan. Parents of Tarzan were stuck in Congo City and lived in a house made on the tree. His mother died after some time, and then the gorillas arrived and killed Tarzan's father. Later, the gorillas go inside the treehouse while hearing the baby's voice. A female gorilla with a small baby gorilla reaches to Tarzan. It keeps the baby, means Tarzan. The scene shifts to present. We see Tarzan and his wife Jane. Jane tells Tarzan's story to the kids and also tells them about the animals of Congo. Jane comes to know that Tarzan is going back to Congo. Jane also wants to go with him, but he refuses. Tarzan tells Jane that there is a tribe which is chasing me. I am not scared of that tribe, but scared that they can harm you. Jane insists to go. The scene again shifts to Tarzan's past. Tarzan was a small baby and lives with a gorilla female. He lives with his brother that was the son of the gorilla female. The gorilla's leader wants to kill Tarzan but didn't. Later, they accept Tarzan. Tarzan's childhood was spent with his brothers means other gorillas. The scene again shifts to the present and Tarzan is shown watching his childhood close. He tells Jane about this place, that how dangerous it is. After some time, as Jane insists, Tarzan agrees. Tarzan, Jane and George reach Congo City. As Tarzan reaches there, some lions appear in front of him. They meet Tarzan with love and it seems like they are welcoming Tarzan. George gets shocked seeing how these animals can live like this with Tarzan. Later, the scene shifts to a city. The state banker has given a lot of money as credit and Leon says, "We will return your money. But you have to help us in return. You have to send an army of 20,000 to Congo City." The banker refuses and says, "If you will not return our money, we will take over Congo." Leon promises him that I will make everything fine soon. Tarzan, Jane and George now have reached a Kuba tribe. This was the place where Jane was raised. Her father was a professor and taught everyone to read and write. Everyone was happy after meeting Tarzan and Jane. They were telling Tarzan's story at night. Tarzan remembers his past. It is shown how Tarzan lives in the forest in between the animals. He remembers how he met Jane. Jane was playing with the animals in the forest and sees Tarzan for the first time. Tarzan hides and then Jane moves forward in search of him. Meanwhile, many gorillas arrive, and about to attack Jane, but Tarzan arrives and saves Jane. Tarzan gets injured and Jane takes care of him and takes him to the Kuba tribe. Now the present is shown. Leon has brought his army to the Kuba tribe. He kills the leader of the Kuba tribe. Leon came here to take Tarzan because he has promised to the other leader to give him Tarzan. He arrests Jane. He also captures Tarzan. George fires when Leon was taking everyone. Tarzan gets free, but Leon takes Jane with him. Tarzan knows where Leon will take Jane. That was a long path, so they have to use a train going through the forest. George says to Tarzan that I will go with you. Tarzan says this has happened because of you, you asked me to come here. My wife Jane is in trouble because of you. Leon tells Jane the invitation from the royal family was sent by us. So Tarzan will come here and we will catch him. Jane says you have done a huge mistake, calling Tarzan here. Tarzan is shown moving to the train with some people of his tribe. They jump on the train and find many prisoners inside the train. Tarzan fights to release them. He kills everyone because of whom they were imprisoned. Jane is shown where Leon makes her have dinner with him. Jane picks a knife from there. Leon sees her and stops her. Leon has a rosemary thread that was made of the strongest spider web. Jane says once Tarzan will come he will not spare you. Leon says if he will come I will hand over him to the other tribe and that tribe will give me diamonds and elephant teeth in return. Tarzan gets off the train. He says to George, now I have to go forward alone. I can't take the tribe people with me. Because if I will take them with me they all could be killed. George doesn't leave Tarzan and goes with him. There were giant gorillas. Tarzan asks the gorilla leader to fight as he knows that he has to fight as per gorilla rules. The winner will make everyone agree with him. George says, how can you fight with a giant gorilla? Gorilla's leader was none other than Tarzan's brother. Tarzan says to George, they call me a traitor because now I live with humans. There was a heavy fight between them but the gorilla was Tarzan's brother so it cannot kill him. When it moves towards George, Tarzan asks George to bend in front of it. Otherwise, this gorilla will harm you. Tarzan also discovers this is Leon's plan. Leon wants to take Jane to that tribe because he knows I will go there to save Jane. Jane is shown who is talking to the tribe people in their language. She asks them to leave and then she jumps into the water seeing an opportunity. She faces a giant gorilla and as she sees it and she bends in front of it. Jane knows the gorillas will not harm if we will bend in front of them. Leon and his companions reach there in search of Jane. Jane asks Leon not to harm any gorilla. I am ready to go with you. As Leon takes Jane with him, Leon's companions attack the gorillas. Many gorillas got shot dead. Tarzan was hearing them from a distance and he reaches there. Leon's army attacks the gorilla who is Tarzan's brother. But Tarzan saves him. The gorilla also understands that Tarzan still considers him as his brother. Until then, Leon has taken Jane with him and reached the tribe. Tarzan remembers his old days. His mother means the gorilla female was killed by the son of that tribe leader. Tarzan then killed the leader's son for taking revenge of his mother. This was the reason the tribe leader wants Tarzan. He wanted to take revenge for his son's death. Leon has fulfilled his promises with that tribe leader. He has taken Jane and Tarzan was also behind them. Leon gets many diamonds and elephant teeth in return. Now the people of the tribe were standing around Tarzan and there was a fight between Tarzan and the tribe leader. Tarzan makes the tribe leader understand that Leon's companion will occupy Congo. They have many weapons. You can't do anything when they will arrive with the army containing 20,000 people. After some time, Tarzan's brother gorilla reaches there with other gorillas. The people of that tribe move away while seeing them. Then Tarzan says to the tribe leader that your son killed my mother. The leader says my son didn't know that the gorilla female was your mother. Now the tribe leader has understood this. During the fight, Leon has moved far with Jane. Tarzan asks for help from the animals in the forest. The army of 20,000 people also have arrived and the animals were ready to help Tarzan. The animals attack Leon's camp. Leon leaves Jane between the animals to die. Tarzan saves Jane and hands her over to George. Leon tries to escape but how can Tarzan will let happen? George finds a machine gun and attacks Leon's ship. Tarzan reaches Leon's ship but Leon ties his neck with his rosemary thread. Tarzan was about to die for a moment but then he uses his strength to break the thread. Tarzan calls the crocodiles with his voice. The crocodiles gather and eat Leon. Increased ship's power makes the ship blast. Everyone thinks that Tarzan has died. The army which was near the riverbank also goes back to see this bomb blast. They say, we can't fight with the tribe people of Congo. We will die so they decide to go back. Tarzan is shown totally fine and he hugs Jane. The people of the tribe were also released. George meets Tarzan and returns to England while collecting the data. They discover how the king has imprisoned everyone. Now Tarzan has released everyone. Tarzan, who belonged to a royal family, doesn't go to his home. He starts living with the tribe people in the Congo city of Africa. Now Tarzan has a son here as well. Here the movie ends.